Well, Monique, welcome to Federation TV. We're glad to have you join us here. You're, of course, the treasurer of Cape Town Karate, but very active yourself.
Very active myself. Yes, I am the treasurer. I'm in charge of signing the checks and handing out money, and I'm also in charge of trying to get money for Cape Town Karate, which, as you know, with any federation is quite a task. But you yourselves, Confederation, thanks for the opportunities for allowing us to apply for stuff like DCAS funding, and also educating us on how to apply for lots of funding, which is not so difficult. So that's kind of the realm of me with regards to finances, where I'm very active in karate. I've stopped competing last year. I have entered the realm of being an official ref, and I'm one of the very few female referees in the Western Cape, and enjoying it thoroughly. It's almost more of a challenge than actually competing on the floor.
So how many clubs have we got in Cape Town?
We've got registered, I think we said 35. But that's the criteria to be a registered dojo.
More.
Oh, exactly.
There's hundreds. I mean, maybe you guys, Monique, maybe you can explain the difference for us between a registered club and a dojo. I mean, there must be hundreds of dojos out there.
What I'm heading towards. So you've got your 35, and to be an affiliated dojo, you need a minimum of 15 members. So the actual, apologize, members that are affiliated, it sounds not too much. 35 dojos doesn't sound like a lot. 35 times 15 does not sound like a lot. Those are our competing athletes that are competing at national level, that are aiming for international level. Besides them, we've got, just in Cape Town, rough estimate, probably 3,000 to 4,000 karateka training.
Yeah.
Yes, and our big task is to develop these children. They come from all areas, all shapes and sizes. It's a big task on hand. And with karate heading towards the Olympics, and as we mentioned, Youth Cup coming to South Africa, there's excitement in the air, and everybody wants to do karate. So it's a hard task to get everybody affiliated. We don't want their money, we just want to have them affiliated so that we can protect them and they can be part of a proper structure. Yes. But it's becoming easier because everybody's excited to do karate.
So, Nicolette, just before the break, we spoke about the international factor. Has this had any impact yet, or is it too early in terms of call it recruitment? Kids knocking on the door to say, "I want to come. Can I join your dojo? Can I come? Can I want to start karate here?" Have we felt any of this yet?
There's definitely a few dojos that have knocked on our door. Because they want to be, if they're part of us, they're part of Western Cape, and therefore part of KSA, and then therefore part of SASCOC, and that's the only way you can basically get your South African colours, your provincial, your national colours. If you're not part of that structure, you're not legit. But so they need to sort of come to us. We've had a few that's interested, that moved styles, that moved from different backgrounds in different areas back into the organisation. We had a few people that weren't happy, but they're coming back again. So I think from next year onwards, there's definitely going to be a change.
But now, from an athlete perspective, you know, back in the day, it was Bruce Lee and then karate. Today, there's many other different martial arts that are out there. With the Olympics and with the World Cup and karate very much being on the scene now as a competitive sport that you can watch on TV, and there's a scoring system and that, how are we cut out for kids coming to join, or are we really up against it in terms of kids want to play computer games and lay around at home and not do any sport, or are we getting kids to go knock on the dojo door and say, "I want to be the next Chuck Norris"?
Yes. The idea is, or I think the easiest way is that if the dojos can go knock on schools, on their doors, because then it's a lot easier for the kids. After school, they go to the hall or whatever close by, and they can do their karate. Because a lot of the kids, it's difficult. They can't travel. Their parents are working, so they only get home at night late. They can't go to a dojo, or there's difficulties around it. So that's basically, and there's a lot of our dojos and senseis that's been doing that's got linkage towards different schools. Then there's also a lot of the other, how can I say, not affiliated dojos that's also linked to that school. But now, luckily, the schools are also more educated. So they are starting to ask the guys, are you connected to Cape Town Sport Council?
I was about to ask you, are they starting to ask for credentials?
Definitely starting to ask that, and I get a lot of requests to say, is this person X coming here, you know, is the dojo legit or whatever. So we do get that.
Monique, is it still a question of karate has a certain level of credibility? When you knock on a school's door, they know what karate is. It's not a new sport. It's not a new martial art. It's got a certain amount of integrity and honor and self-discipline. It's got a old ethos that comes with it when you go knock on a school teacher or principal's door and say, I want to talk to you about karate. They immediately know what they're going to get.
Yeah, I think you're correct in saying definitely what you're saying. What's very nice is also like, just to tie in with what you are saying, is we've just very recently had our junior karate trials for Karate Cape Town, and everybody that's qualified then who's going to make the team for Western Cape, we're going to divert slightly from what we used to do in the past. Just say, yes, you've made the Western Province or you've made the Cape Town team, you're going to trials. We're going to still do that, but we're going to take it a step further, and this also hasn't really been done before. It's kind of forgotten, and also lots of other federations just don't do it anymore. There's the Cape Town Sport Council, and they're there for a reason. When you've got your sports and you've had your regional trials, and your people have reached that level. I am in a regional team. There's the structure of colours exist,
right,
and we are going to actually award them.
Maybe inter-club championships and things like
that. We're going to apply with Sport Council and give them proper recognised colours so that they can go to the schools. Yes. And when they go to the headmaster, I competed and I got a gold medal. They can actually also say,
because most karate is not a school sport.
It's not a school sport.
So you don't really get recognised. Yes. So the poor kids that are doing karate, they can be the Olympic champion.
And they won't get the recognition.
And they won't get called up by the headmaster on a Monday morning.
Exactly. Yes. So now what's going to change is that kid is going to be able to go to the school. I've got my proper real Western Cape or Cape Town colours. And you can get his, like, what you may call these, they're bulkies. They're honorary colours.
Yes.
Whereas previously they'll get called up and say, well done, you got a medal. And now they can get official colours, which has always existed, but we're going to do it for them this time.
Yeah.
And going forward.
So for kids who generally want to join, Nicolette, how do the kids find out? I mean, do you just jump on Facebook or do a Google search? I mean, is there a directory of dojos in your neighbourhood?
We're on Facebook. And through Facebook, they sort of get hold of me and they'll ask questions. So a lot of people nowadays, they know my email address, so they email me directly, and then I ask, what area,
where do you live?
Where do you live, or where does your mother go to work? Because depending where the child is during the day.
But now, how do you filter styles? Because you have a lot of different styles. You've got Gojukai and Shokukai and Shotokan and all these different styles that you've got out there. I mean, does it make a difference to you, or is it just find the nearest dojo?
Well, I mean, if there's a lot of styles, say, in the same area, I would tell them, we've got 3 styles in that area.
Yeah.
Go and visit each and see which one you're more comfortable with. So that's what I normally do.
Yeah.
And then also I will notify the senseis to say, this parent is going to phone you or walk in there with the child. Please help them out.
What sort of age would you say, Nicolette, Monique? Well, we can speak to Nicolette as well. What sort of age would you say is a good age to start kids off?
General accepted age is right about 4 or 5, but I was very surprised. We hosted David Bellatello, who's on the WKF Referees Commission and also a Kumite World Champion several years in the past. He visits us in South Africa on the 19th of September of all dates. I actually remember the date. And we went to Khayelitsha. And we had a hall full of children, and the youngest one just turned 3. And he could do a punch and he could do a kick. So I'd advise anything from 3. It's what's in the heart. Does he really want to do it? Yes, we've got programs for little toddlers. I mean,
we're just rolling around having fun.
Yes. And they just want to put on the gi, and they want to be able to kick. And we make space for everybody. But competition-wise, we start from the first age division would be 7 to 9. Up to then, we try to get them ready for competition. And then also it's not just competition karate. We do the traditional karate as well, whereas there it's a little bit more serious. What we also introduce them just to the lighter things. We keep them away from contact on the traditional side, just to protect them, because they're still small. But anybody's welcome from around about the age of 4. And
when you talk about traditional, what do you mean?
okay, so traditional karate, that's the full package, where that's full contact. It is a whole set of skills, a lot of skills. You'll never learn everything in your whole life. That's why I love karate. I've been doing it for, wow,
You're always a student.
32 years, and I won't stop. And I don't even know half of it
Always
yet.
learning. Yeah.
You're always learning. That's what's so great about karate as opposed to other martial arts. It's a huge set of skills and application of those skills.
Yeah.
Whereas sport karate is just as exciting, but it's got that competitive element to it.
So sport karate, is that more the what you will see at the Olympics?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so that's point scoring.
Yes, it's points fighting.
Points fighting.
Certain styles also have continuous fighting, which is style related, and also have full contact and competition. But WOKF Olympic karate is semi-contact, and it's points fighting.
All right.
And kata, of course.
Just the last question, Nicolette. Is karate, the competitions, is it seasonal? Like rugby, you pretty much play from April in the club structure. You play from say April through to September. Karate, is it? I mean, when is the competition seasons?
Throughout the year.
So it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. I mean, we're starting next year with our Western Cape Trials Championship on the 19th of January, and it's going to run through probably till December again.
How many days a week do the kids practice? When we were speaking to Adele Maria earlier on, she's talking about getting the kids into high performance programs, getting squads together. How many times a week do the kids here train?
The serious fighters and guys are doing kata. Some of them start as in the morning from 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, train for 2 hours, go to work or school. In the evening, they'll do another slot of 2 hours. So there's some of them that definitely do 4 to 5 hours a day.
That's pretty. That's
yes,
quite
I mean,
a lot of
if you're just doing
Yes.
karate traditionally like I do, then I mean, every night 4 hour, that's fine for me at this point in time.
But it's not easy hour.
No, it's
You
not
put
easy.
it- you leave it all out there.
It's a difficult hour.
It's a difficult hour.
Yes.
So there's no such thing as too much sport. If karate people can do it 7 days a week, then other athletes can do it.
Well, anyone can do it. I mean, in our style dojo, we've got people up until, I think the oldest member is 74.
Right.
I mean, a lady started with me when she was 78. So sorry, a lady started with me when she was in her 60s. So karate is almost. She's still there.
She's still doing
yes,
it?
it's almost like golf.
Yeah.
You can start whenever
It's
you want
almost
to.
like golf, except that you kick and punch.
Yes,
It's just
a bit more fun.
So it's not at all like golf.
Yes. What I normally tell the parents, I mean, they bring the child and then they sit there.
Yeah.
And now the child is, it's like, but why don't you just join the adults?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Do you
so
find a lot of
nice.
that? Do you find somewhere mom and dad will
Oh,
come
yes,
in,
we've got
they'll see the kids
all the
going,
time.
let me start.
We've got a
All the
lot
time.
of families
Yeah.
in our dojo that the two, the boy and the girl will do it and the parents will do it. So it's a whole family sport. And then they all go to competitions.
How many kids come for self-defense? Because I thought that was like the original reason. You come why you want to do karate, the way of the empty hand. You come for self-defense, as opposed to coming just for fitness and learning the tradition, the culture, and that. Do people still come simply for self-defense?
A lot more. The older people do, yes. But yes, the focus is definitely shifted more to, yes, it's fitness orientated and Olympic orientated.
Yeah.
So the sports, emphasis on sports is huge, emphasis on fitness is huge. But you still get, for example, your kid at school that gets bullied. There's so many of them. It's
lots of
actually,
reasons.
yes, so we specifically, I don't just want to refer back to our dojo, but also to the region itself. We've got programs running specifically for that. And parents send the kids for self-defense and just
Self-discipline and concentration.
and the growth in confidence. Just being able to say, I do karate.
Yeah.
Even though he's probably still going to get beaten up by that kid the first time he tries and does a
Yeah.
kick, that confidence level has grown already. And from there, the self-defense is still a huge element, but yeah, there's some new elements added to the game in terms of fitness and sport karate.
To fit into with that, we've also got a few disabled students that's doing karate in all of the dojos. And to see the change in their body from a child that couldn't, for instance, walk properly or couldn't move, and then 2 years down the line is absolutely amazing. And that's just because the focused training that he's getting every day when he goes to his karate session.
And that's quite a big thing that you've just said there, that karate is open to people with disability.
Yes.
I mean, you must, if you're disabled, you must have a supreme amount of confidence to walk into a dojo. I would assume that instructors are welcoming and perhaps even trained a little bit to open the doors and make people from all sorts of different walks of life feel welcome into a karate space.
Definitely. I mean, it's happening on a daily basis. We haven't had a lot of all styles fighting in the disability, but a lot of the styles, they've got a lot of athletes in the disability section. And it's amazing seeing them competing.
That's absolutely fantastic. You see, I think this is what Federation TV is all about, is exposing these little things that we quite often never know about. You know, I don't think anyone would really have thought about the fact that disability or karate students with disability is that active, and so that's absolutely fantastic. Folks, we've just been joined here by Nicolette Morrison and Monique Morrison, talking to us about what's happening in the world of karate in Cape Town. Ladies, I'm going to say thank you very much to you. It's been fantastic having you both on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, JP.
Definitely going to have to get you guys back in, and then you're going to need to bring videos and photographs.
We'll do the demo.
We'll do the demo. That's fantastic. And Nicolette, just quickly, where to from here for you guys? What's the next big thing? Is it the tournament in January?
Well, the next big thing is on my list is to design tracksuits. We're going to hand it to the guys that's got their colours now in Cape Town, and then the next thing for them is competing now at the Western Cape Trials.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So no Christmas cake and things like that. They must train during the holidays
you'll burn
to
it
be
up.
ready. Yes, that's right. And then from there onwards, the year starts. I mean, beginning of March, again, is nationals. Middle March is nationals for the juniors. And then the international competition starts. So
you've got to keep coming back and keep telling us about it. Monique, best of luck. I believe you're heading for your grading soon.
Yes, the second weekend of December, I'll be grading for my 4th dan in front of an Okinawan panel. They are arriving in South Africa that week.
Yes, they're notorious, those Okinawan panels that come out here.
Yes, well, it's two very, very esteemed gentlemen. I think an 8th and a 9th dan coming down.
Right, folks, that's a wrap from us here at Sport Federation TV. Remember, you can, of course, enter the Bash Shoes competition here with us every Friday night between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. through to 9 a.m. It's been a pleasure having you on board, and we will see you again next week. Next week you will see the highlights of the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation Appreciation Dinner. That's going to be happening at the Century City Conference Centre. We trust that you will enjoy that, as we hope that the sports administrators out there will also. Have a fantastic sporting weekend. Bye-bye.